Malibu before the fire even started. Because ideally, the fire start because the wind blows a particle on the power line. There's no way to predict that. And how could you pinpoint it to Malibu? So like the night before, so like Monday night into the wee hours of the morning, they sent out alerts to close the schools in Malibu on Tuesday. But the fire in Malibu didn't happen until 10:30 that morning. So I'm trying to ascertain. I'm trying to figure out. Somebody tell me. Shannon probably know because he like to try to show that he know a lot of things. How did they know specifically that Malibu was gonna catch a fire? At the whole loss, because many times my son and my mother are full of conspiracies, and I always bah humbug them. But this kind of hit different for me. Belinda, your winds were torrential on Tuesday, but they had Monday night, they had already decided and sent out notifications to close the schools. So by the time I woke up at 6 o'clock Tuesday morning, they had already issued an alert to the businesses and the schools to close. They were already closed. But the fires didn't start, according to them, to 10:30 a.m. So that's my question. Yeah, the winds was blowing Monday night, right? Tuesday is when it caught on fire. Yeah, Monday. So the winds were blowing. We had torrential winds Monday night. I did in LA, near Hollywood. It felt like I said, like the Wizard of Oz. Hey, Eric Clark. It felt like the Wizard of Oz, and my whole building was shaking. I understand y'all had high winds before everyone. But how? My question is, everybody had high winds at some point. So how were they able to predict that Malibu specifically was going to catch on fire? Why didn't they close Santa Monica? Or why didn't they close Hollywood High School and all of those buildings? They closed Malibu. They sent out an alert. I agree with you. Y'all did get the high and ignite a fire specifically in Malibu. So I'm still trying to understand that. How were they able to predict specifically that Malibu was going to catch on fire to the point where they closed down the schools and the businesses? The fire did not start until 10:30 Tuesday morning. Tuesday before 10 o'clock, before 9 o'clock, before 8 o'clock, before 7 a.m., they had already closed the schools and the businesses. So my question is, how did they know specifically Malibu was going to catch a fire? Because everybody got high winds in Los Angeles at some point on Tuesday. So why Malibu? That's my question. The right wings are saying that this devastation is happening because of DEI. Now, if you don't know what that acronym is, that acronym is diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think that's what it means, which is kind of like affirmative action. So they saying that the fire situation was handled wrong because Black and brown people were in control and making the decisions. And the only reason that they're in those positions is because of DEI, which is also kind of like affirmative action. So that is ludicrous. That makes no sense. Yeah, no. But I guess they got to blame somebody. So they're blaming the right wings now. The right wingers are saying that DEI is the reason why the fires were handled wrong, right? Hey, Sherry Berry. So I just want to go over and say this again. There are always fires. There have always been fires in California. Y'all remember as kids, Smokey the Bear always telling people to put the fires out and stuff like that when they go camping and this, and that, and the third. There's always been fires in California that I can remember. And that is because, like I said, it's dry out here. And because it's dry, it's easy for shit to catch on fire. And we have Patrice. They probably, most likely, were not equipped. Just like there wasn't enough personnel and enough firefighters, they probably were not equipped or prepared for all of these fires to be jumping off at the same time. Like we had 4 major fires Tuesday. We had 4 major fires going on, but there was other, little things around it, but 4 major ones that was going on at the same time. So I would imagine, but that ain't no problem because they made it clear at the press conference. Water isn't a problem because they can take water out of swimming pools. They can take water out of the lakes and the ocean. Like they could have got water. Like water, yeah. But I would imagine because all at one time the demand was so high that it might have been difficult. They might have ran out of water. That's, for me, thinking it that way, that's plausible because they didn't even have enough firefighters. Like we had to get other firefighters from other places because we didn't have enough to cover everything that was going on. We did not have enough. Far as we know, these fires that I'm talking about started Tuesday morning at 10:30. So I'm not sure when you saw Stephen Colbert, but the fires that I'm talking about, they began, exactly, Wendy, they began getting, the fires that I'm talking about started at 10:30 a.m. Tuesday morning, this past Tuesday. Okay, so that could have been possible, Hakeem. And Wendy said she saw where planes was getting ocean water. Like, okay, yeah. So, and they said that they could do that. They have they can do that. But I can totally see, Cousin Patrice, how the demand could have been so great and everybody's pulling from one system. I can see how they could have ran out of water. That, yeah. Because people don't think that far. Nobody thought when they was, I can see where they could have ran out of water because they ran out of people. And when they was building the infrastructure, they didn't think that far ahead. Nobody thought that they might have 4, 5 fires going on at the same time. Just like the infrastructure is screwed up. Like when it rains, it floods. Why? Because when they built California on the infrastructure, they didn't account for rain because it don't rain. It never rains in Southern California. The root work underground was built decades ago. Yeah. So what I think they need to do is probably moving forward with infrastructure is maybe do like the East Coast does and put their power lines underground. That might be an idea because they claim that, and I heard, hold on, one thing at a time, because they claim, well, they're still trying to figure out what started the fire. They don't know yet. But all I can tell you is California wildfires and brush fires usually start from the high winds, brushing across the power lines and igniting. And the reasons why the fire spreads so fast is because the winds are so fast and the embers fly in the air from one surface to the next. And with the winds blowing so fast, and when you blow fire, that's only going to make the fire bigger. They couldn't figure out where it happened, when it happened, how it happened. They don't know. But I heard somebody, I don't know, but I saw a video that somebody said that somebody recorded a missile. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all what I said. Right. The systems are broken, Cousin Patrice. They are. But I think with everything, shit needs to be upgraded because where some of these buildings and some of these sewers and some of these hydrants have been here for 100 years, and we have upgraded and renovated and did all these kind of things, but not the infrastructure. So I think that is an issue because, like I said, when it rains, whenever we do get rain, it floods because the sewer can't take that much because whoever the engineers that did the plans or the architects who drew the plans did not account for this type of devastation, all these things happening at one time. So these are, things that have, that shit hit different. Shit is hitting different now.